Okay, one of the skills you're going to need in modeling 3D CAD items is to be able to mate two pieces together or two parts together in what's called an assembly. And the assembly is actually a collection of parts that then form a more complex device. So, in relation to your puzzle cube that you're working on, let me show you, just taking two parts, how you would mate them together. And then this technique would be repeated for your other uh, three parts that you have to add to your cube. So here I have a OnShape document with two parts already into the Part Studio. I'm going to create a new assembly just to show you how this works. So I clicked on the plus sign down here and I chose Create Assembly. First thing I want to do is to put my first piece in. Now you're going to have to know how your puzzle cube goes together so you know what is the right first piece to put in and what orientation. So I'm going to click on Insert, and that shows me all the parts in my studio. Now in your assembly, you will have 5 parts, not just 2. I'm going to put my first piece in, and on this first piece, if I actually modeled it so that the first piece was started at the origin at any point, then all I have to do is click the green check mark. And what that does, that automatically, you notice, attaches this first part to the origin in the assembly. There will be another video later explaining that if you did not create your part starting at the origin, how you would move the origin to that part so you can start the assembly. So once you have your first piece into the assembly and it's fixed at the origin, you want to right click on that piece and you want to fix it, and fix it means it won't move. So if you try to, it won't move, it won't slide, it won't translate. So if you try to slide it sideways, it won't go anywhere. Then you want to start building your cube by adding your second piece. So I'm going to go Insert. I'm going to add Part Studio 2. I'm going to drop it in. Now you notice when I drop it in here and click on the green check mark, you'll notice my second piece is not oriented properly because the yellow piece needs to rest on top of the green piece at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to click on the gold piece. I'm going to left click on the gold piece, and it brings up the triad, we call it. I'm going to grab the circle indicator on the triad, and I'm going to rotate this yellow piece in exactly 90 degrees so that it then will cross this one perpendicular. Click off of that. Now, this yellow one is going to have to come in here and set on top of the green one, something like this. But in order to make sure everything is lined up perfectly, I'm going to have to look at the 3 views. First, I'm going to look at the front view. So I'm going to click on my front face. And I'm going to drag this yellow piece on down so that it actually fits in there nicely like it's supposed to. Then I'm going to turn the model to the right side and make sure it's lined up in the right side correctly. So I'm going to back it up a little bit so it lines up on the right side. And by this point, by lining front and side, the top should also be correct. But you want to check the top just to be sure, and sure it is right there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to more of an ISO view here. And I'm going to actually now this is the way it should end up being when I'm done, but right now I'm going to pull them apart because as of this point, the yellow one is not glued or mated to the green one yet, so it can still move out of the way. I want to mate it permanently so they stay together. So the way you do that, up here is several mate commands built into OnShape Assembly. You're going to click on the first mate, which is fastened mate. And you're going to come over to the one that you want to put with the other one, and you want to click on one of these mate points. Now, you'll have to experiment with, if you have irregular shapes put together, you'll have to experiment which of these mate points give you the desired mate that you desired. Some may make weird things happen to your model, and you just cancel that one and try a different mate point. I'm going to click on this one in the center. I'm going to get in the white space and I'm going to right click and I'm going to rotate my image so I can see the green one. Now, this only works if you have a mouse hooked to your laptop or to your Chromebook. And then I'm going to click on the mating point over here on the green one that matches the one I selected on the yellow one. So I click on this one here, And when I do, notice both models pop together. And then I can click on this green check mark that's hidden behind me here. And that actually then finishes the mate. And now the yellow one, I don't need a second fastener. So the second one is actually mated to the first one. And then you will continue this process by inserting your third, your fourth, and your fifth part, mating them with the fastened mate until the cube is put together with all 5 pieces, and it looks like a 3 by 3 by 3 cube.